Hey guys, welcome to another episode of 234 Essential. My name is AOT2.
And I am Ugochi, the Igbo Stallion.
Yes, and we are recording this not on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon. We're recording this on the Monday night.
We're not recording it on Sunday at all.
And it's only Ugochi's fault anyway that we are recording it today. Well, moving on.
Anyway, Sunday is Monday evening, so it's bound to happen.
Or Monday night, yes, and we are recording this virtually.
Night,
yeah, because
what's your night routine like?
Eat and sleep. That is what my night routine is.
Interesting.
Yes.
What time do you typically sleep?
12 o'clock or past 12. Thereabouts.
Healthy, and then you wake up at what time?
5 or 6
Are you a morning person?
6 o'clock. Omo, if you work 9 to 5, you'll be a morning person. I don't have the luxury. It's people that are rich that say, I'm not a morning person, I'm an evening person. I know.
So I feel like...
When you work in a bank, that you have to be there 8 to 8 a.m. Tell your guy that I'm not a morning person.
You know, that's also possible, right? It's also possible that because you have to be somewhere early doesn't mean that you have to be a morning person. Do you get what I mean? You probably typically pick up later in the day or in the afternoon.
Oh, definitely.
It's just like how there are people who read better at night and some people read better in daytime. True that. Yes, I think now, but we're forced to be morning people or people like that or that work typical 9 to 5 jobs are forced to assume that they are, some of them anyway, that they are morning people.
Or you could be Gen Z, just be unemployed and just live off.
Or work remotely.
Just live off vibes and be begging your relatives for money.
Listen, because what again? They put you in this world anyway. They might as well take care of you. They need to take care of you. That's just it. I remember you saying one time that...
Sorry. What's your name?
I remember you saying one time that you're trans Gen Z. And I was like,
Not any trans anything, please. I'm okay. As I am like this, I'm okay.
Your energy has changed. That was too soon.
Yes.
And now you can welcome us.
I can't wear funny clothes. Yeah. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. We hope you enjoyed the last one.
The family.
We recorded it in the higi haga of we're expecting the gubernatorial elections. We're like 5 or 6 days away from it, and we finally had the gubernatorial elections across the country in the states where where they have gubernatorial elections. Some states do not have theirs because their calendar has been
28 states in total.
Yes, and come the aftermath of the election. That's what we should call this. The aftermath.
Literally the aftermath.
Yeah, it has been a very, very dark, sobering, reflective, jarring. What other adjective can I use for this?
Surprising, shocking, bewildering.
Surprising, shocking, bewildering, disappointing.
Do you understand?
Now, I'm not disappointed about the results because I already called it a long time ago. If anybody has been listening to me on this podcast, then I said someone who will win by a landslide just because of some certain permutations. But
I guess we showed their hand on the 25th of February, so
anyhow,
it was a no-brainer sort of.
So we'll talk about that, in the episode. When we are in the episode, definitely. But let's just start off with, the usual. First of all, family.
If you haven't listened to our previous episode again, please go back and listen to it because a lot of what happened there might also sort of rear its head here. So for the purpose of reference, pretty much.
Nigeria is a season film. They finish.
Listen, you still say they don't catch the bad guy. You just see.
Now the bad guy don't catch.
Literally, pew.
Yeah.
You know that archangels pew. Literally, that's what, the more you look, the less you see.
Yeah. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to 234 Essential or anywhere you listen to your podcast from.
Listen, and follow us on every social media platform, typically Instagram and Twitter at 234 Essential Podcast. So.
All right, Family 1, and this one is longer than a national, it's longer than Nigeria's budget, so please bear with us. Family 1, Emmanuel Hello Sir David, strange name, but we'll go with it.
Love it.
Ugochi, AOT2, Nana and Phil, Aheluna, it's the real again. Hope you all had an amazing week. In response to Gochi's question
Uh,
from well, I didn't help the white cub. And if you are not talking about and if you are talking about Runtown, unfortunately I do not cater to celebrities directly, except in cases where a client requires me to. By the way, Otis, I'm
interesting.
proudly from Benin. Speaking about tribes, after listening to the family episode, I want you to understand that many Nigerians do not know their history, especially
Mm-hmm.
because it's been told by someone else. The reality is whoever controls the past controls the future. And people just
Mm-hmm.
live their lives based on hearsay and selective tribalism. I live in the US and I've seen a lot of people who have no idea about their origin, including Nigerians that have moved here. They go along with what an American professor had told them. Americans don't even know their history. And when you question them, their response is history wasn't taught in Nigeria like it's an excuse to be ignorant. I was at a gala sometime last year that was about diversity and and the UK ambassador to the US was present alongside a certain former general from the UK that looks older than time. The man had knowledge of most of the atrocities the British had committed in the name of colonization. And someone asked me where I was from because of my accent. It should be noted that I do not sound Nigerian because of the notation and speed of my word. And that has been a struggle since primary school, and I only schooled in Nigeria. When I'm asked, I tell
Same.
whoever asks that I'm from Benin Kingdom in Nigeria. Shout out to B-side. At the gala, the person mistook it for Benin, the country, just like many other people have done in the past. I had to educate said person that before the British got greedy and invaded, the Benin Kingdom was an empire that dates to the ancient days before we crossed paths with the Portuguese in the 11th and 12th century. I
Mm-hmm.
had to educate them on how the empire ruled over what is referred to as southern Nigeria all the way to some parts in Ghana. You see?
That's
But
it.
in backing out of the deal, we had made with but backing out of the deal we had made with the devil being the British. We were reduced to a faction and our history was wiped and manipulated just to fit the white person's perspective. The
About
general agreed
Ghana.
and highlighted that we carried the wrong history. Every time I hear that Nigeria is divided into three regions, I am paid because in under 200 years, my identity as a descendant of a kingdom that matters has been reduced to just another state. All this
Yeah.
argument about who built where won't be necessary if only we held on to our history. The distrust and hatred towards Igbo people still shocking. Nigerians generally can fight. Nigerians generally carry a fight that has nothing to do with them on their head. Tell me about it. At Ugochi, I will advise you to talk to someone from the Kardashian states, Kaduna, Kano.
Castina.
Uh, they
Mm.
have sustainable. They have been sustainable with their identity despite all that has happened in the past. I personally feel northern states should be the custodian of our history. Pause. P.S. I'm
Mm.
not trying to rile anybody up. Just say my bit. Learn your history from my grandparents and not the internet. Have a great week, guys! Exclamation mark. All
Hmm.
right. Thank you. That was a very
Yeah.
succinct email.
Actually,
And I
was
agree with you.
yeah.
Yes, that the Wazobia, the way I put it, the Wazobia trifecta has
Mm.
distilled a lot of people's tribes into, so you are forced to fit into Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo, or Yoruba, Hausa slash Fulani and Igbo, when we
Mm-hmm.
see many other tribes in this country. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's another part. That's another facet of the tribalism we're talking about. Our tribalism in Nigeria
Yeah.
is 360, the full ground. It's not just 180.
Exactly.
It's rotational
It's,
tribalism. Yeah,
it's the first union of many tribes and cultures, and who have never till date been able to sit at the round table to say, okay, this is what I want, this is what's good for my people, and sort of brokering or agreements reached. It's just like we're all here fighting for these limited resources and we don't even know who we are really as
yeah,
people. It's crazy.
yeah.
I also like this
If you
fan mail because he spoke. I sorry.
yeah, continue.
I also like this fan mail because he spoke about the Benin Kingdom, and um, it's so crazy how we really don't even talk about these regions, especially the Benin Kingdom. I'm sure some people don't know the history of Jaja of Okobo or Nana of Ishekiri
What's that? What's that?
that led to, that even led to the exile of the king of of Benin, because of they were trying to protect their trade. Literally, all these things, all these invasions happened because of that. They wanted to be taken over, and nobody really talks about all these things. We only, um, I think, the way Nigeria has become so difficult to navigate has also aided in the lack of nuance, in a sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Is how we don't even know where Ghana is. Some Nigerians don't know how close Ghana is to Nigeria. That there are some places that you travel hours to get to in Nigeria. You'd have reached Ghana and settled in before then.
In some states, it will take you hours to go to some parts of your
to some parts. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. And we're so locked. Especially, I think. Please do not take any offense when I say this, but people in the South.
I'm offended already. I'm already offended.
Actually, and I say this. You know what? Fuck you. Be offended.
I'll bring you Oro Festival. The Oro Festival is coming to your compound.
Fuck you and whatever that shit is that you can't really explain.
You beg.
I don't care. Listen, I wish I would. I honestly wish I would. There was probably a time that I would have been like, please. But now it's just like, what? Are you serious? What's that even about? But anyway.
Masquerade come near me, I go run.
Let me tell you. To each their culture. That's what I've just come to live with. It's just like you can't talk about it because you don't know about it.
Yeah, but when you don't reach that Mazayan part of our culture, that part where
it don't kill me.
Selfie. Oh man, they wrong. I like bro.
But that's who we are, right?
Shit, my nigga.
But this is the history that we're talking about now. That's who we are. Definitely. These are things that we did. Or these are the culture and tradition they say go and ask your grandparents according to the real.
One of the greatest crimes that, the British did, was Nigeria is not like, how will I put it now? We are not that mono. It's like we're not one. It's not like the whole country shares one culture. Yeah, we're not mono.
We're not mono-ethnic.
We have kingdoms and nations locked together in one geographical entity that nobody gave consent to. We just woke up and they say, hey, this is your fellow countryman. And that is what, ideally, we are still struggling with at the end of the day.
Exactly.
First of all, let's deal with the fallacy that Nigeria is one. Let us even deal with that fallacy.
Once we
deal with that fallacy that Nigeria is one, we will begin to see things clearer, Like you said, the Benin people, is a kingdom on its own. That's enough should be a country on its own.
Exactly.
The South should be a country on its own. Southeast should be a country on its own. The North should be divided into 3 countries. But because, business, profit, and everything. Oh, let's have this super nation that did not come together. The reason why America
can work. Business contract anyway.
Yeah, it was a business contract. The reason why America can work is because all the white guys were like, "Fuck it, let's join hands together." Even though some places had to be conquered at the end of the day, we know, but still, there's a reason why. America, they can point back to that foundation and say, "Oh, this is the reason why we came together." We don't know why we came together. Apart from knowing that we're part of UAC.
It's part of UAC. More like people
we're a division in UAC. We're a branch in the UAC office.
Do you understand what I mean?
That's what Nigeria was.
I feel like sometimes when we try to compare Nigeria to the US, I feel the comparison is uneven because just like very America uneven. Is a whole centuries old, 2 centuries old and more, and Nigeria
America
is
like 400 years ahead. 400 years, ahead of us. So they made all the mistakes they want to make, and they're still making their own mistakes, but still.
And you get what I mean? And we were here, this is no excuse, of course, because if it has been done before, you should learn from it. Yeah. But I still maintain that the history of Nigeria has intentionally been squashed time after time. I think at this point, I don't know, I can't say anyone is to blame, but it's just that we've never actually had a conversation in open or in the clear as to who are we in Nigeria exactly.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Kesariwa tried it, but he was killed.
I think the idea of nationalism in Nigeria too is just so far and in between. It never comes because people are so far separated that we're not curious. Sometimes we're not curious enough to go and even see what is on the other side. We just listen to whispers and, just take it for what it is. Yeah.
The curiosity is that being in Nigeria is so tough. Life for a Nigerian is so tough that you don't even have time to even, go after these curiosities because you are trying to survive on a daily basis at the end of the day.
I feel like this urgency that you speak about, what you just said now, is a very Lagosian factor. People who live in Lagos feel that way. They feel
because
that
I had to go and look for money. I had to go and look for money this morning. On a Monday morning, I was looking for money.
More like Lagos is so built up, structured in a way that it stresses you at there's a stress off at every point.
Yeah.
Transportation, feeding, whatever whatever it is,
Accommodation,
even
even
relaxing, do you
relaxation.
understand?
Yeah, even relaxation is
It's so
stressful.
expensive.
Yeah.
It's really viability wise and cost of even living is just a zero here, and that's why like people who live in
Yeah.
Lagos rarely would leave Lagos because it's a full-time job already. It takes
Yeah.
all of your time, all of your
Like headache.
everything. Do you understand what I mean? When you live in other states in Nigeria, you just find like people are not in a hurry to anywhere.
Yeah,
It's
because
just
life is not as accelerated as it is. And that's how life is in general. Like if you go to other countries where there's a city and people
yeah,
in the townships, it's different. The people in the towns are more
yeah.
relaxed. They're okay with life. People in the city are always on to the next one. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's really quick. Garbage in, garbage out in
Yeah.
Lagos.
Ego.
Next fan mail.
All right.
Uh this is from Chidu maybe. He says, "Hey guys, I've sent you guys a couple of fan mails in the past few months that never got read. I have a question for you too. Phil, now why are people not reading now? Why are we not getting
It's
our
night
fan mails?
posts. People are using night posts.
Maybe you didn't put what they
They
call
didn't put
that thing, a
stamp. They
postcard,
didn't
a
put
stamp
stamp.
on
They
it.
didn't put stamp.
Yes. Send us a postcard, guys. I
Yeah.
have a question for you too. Please, how well has Makinde done as a governor? Is it just social media hype or has he done exceptionally well? Please, I'd like to know in detail how well he has done since Ayo is from Oyo and Ugochi just visited Ibadan. Thank you and stay jiggy. I
Uh, should maybe
only
so
did
you
is from Lagos at this point.
so you know that there are some Ibadan people that have not really we are just Ibadan people. Why are you laughing? Phil, delete this part. Delete. Don't even edit. Delete it.
My chest is tight.
I am I am the last person you should ask about Oyo State politics or Ibadan
What's
politics.
this?
All I know is that Makinde won by a landslide, and it could be two things. It could be that he won because he has done something, or he won
Mhm.
because he did something during the election period. We will not talk and pass that one. So I don't know. Ibadan politics is way different from Lagos State politics at the end of the day. But I
Mm,
guess that the reason why he was re-elected is because he has done a few things that the people are at least happy about. And just from judging me from Twitter, which is not a metric, but it's a better metric than if you even place the way he acts on Twitter or how he responds to challenges on Twitter, the
yeah.
messages he puts out is way better than some governors, a lot of governors.
Mm,
So it kind of shows you the kind of administration or government is running in Oyo State. So I guess
yeah.
she's doing all right. I mean, Oyo State is not Dubai or it's not New York City or California. We all know that.
Yeah.
But in the lowest, Nigerian politics, Dubai in Nigerian politics is low. I think he has tried.
Mm.
He has done more than what's expected of him. Sure. Yeah.
Maybe better than what his predecessor even did self.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Whether it was the bleaching governor, what I was bleaching up and down, or some random guys, some random governors like this. Yeah.
I do
So
have family that you're close to in Ibadan or Oyo.
I have family. Close to is a different question. That's a 1A, 1B question. That's a secondary school 1B question. I have
So what's
family
one
in
A?
close. One is, do I have family in Ibadan? I say yes. Or do I have family in
Mm-hmm.
Oyo State? Yes.
Mm,
And
mm-hmm.
I'm close to that's 1B. Yeah.
Mm.
Those are two different questions.
Amazing. Um, actually, um, going to Ibadan from Lagos recently, I think it took me maybe over an hour, but not so bad as opposed to taking the train. I heard the train takes 3 hours, gosh, and then it stops you outside of Ibadan. But anyway, I think in comparison, as Ayo said, in comparison to other governors, and not when I say other governors, I mean excluding Lagos State, right? Um, because we both reside in Lagos, he has managed to put his name on the lips of his people all over Ibadan, like there are billboards of him everywhere, of his people thanking him, or stuff like that. Um, I mean, my friend did mention, my friend stays in Ibadan. She relocated from Lagos to Ibadan. So she was like, um, he pays his civil servants on time. Some agricultural shit he's doing that's really grassroots, and also just that thing where he has also made governing the state very humanitarian, like more human than figurehead in a sense. So the people get to see him, they have ways of reaching him, that kind of governor. Yeah, I think for that, I think the people of Ibadan actually, I'll speak of Ibadan. I don't know about the entire Oyo State, but in Ibadan, it seems like there was massive love for him. Not like the roads are perfect or technology is A1 there or anything, or the road networks are fantastic, but for what it's worth, I think he's doing something right because his people actually like him and they fuck with him heavy. So yeah.
Yeah.
I
All
think
right.
I think he's trying anyway.
All right, family three from Puff Puff Pass. Cavalry greetings, Ayan Ugochi. Well done on the podcast, guys. This is my first fan
Thank
mail, by the
you.
way. You can call me Puff Puff Pass. Close that smiling
Mm.
emoji. I stumbled on on your podcast on Spotify and I've listened to your episodes from the Humble Smith episodes till now. What got me
Ooh,
coming back to listen is the weekly flop and prop and all. They're always apt and captures the best of the Niger verse every week. Keep them coming.
man.
Brown thumbs up emoji. I just had to type up an email to you guys after last week's episode, the post two. Post two. First off, Ayo, I have to say this your concern me has passed. Be careful. The indifference is the real pandemic for real, for real. Moving on to the GRV comment you made, please let me know. Those that have state level experience and were voted in, what do their states have to show for it at the end of the day? Who will help? It's like saying that only people who have worked in one industry can ever apply for a position in a company. Do you know how much better off a company is bringing in people with diverse backgrounds? I'm sure I don't have to explain that one. And Ugochi, your one is that he acts soft. God, I beg. You guys need to brace up. Your stances are weak and reek of bad mentality. Maybe because of what
Wait,
the
God,
country is used to.
God, I beg.
Absurdity anywhere you look. There's a big difference between a person's personality and their character. Just because someone speaks a certain way does not mean they don't have a backbone. To graduate from MIT easy.
God,
I'm
I
an
beg.
engineer and consider myself to be a person of average to above average intelligence, and I know what it is to make it through a technical degree in the United States. Talk less of one in one of the most competitive technical colleges in the world. I'll stop there. What we should be paying attention is to why a candidate is running and what they say about relevant issues. And make up our mind from that and that alone. Remove your
Mm,
conditioned biases. On a final note, Nigeria is home. Even if everybody is japa, the Western world will never be home, no matter what. People in the diaspora, when both feet wake up one day, tell everybody, make the vamos go to their house. Let's not shit where we all lay our heads. Much love. Um,
madam.
Thank you very much, Puff Puff Pass, for sending that email.
Love his name first.
Concerning GRV, it's simple as this. GRV did not just convince me that he could run Lagos State. It's simple as that. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
where he graduated from. If he graduated from Harvard or Yale or Oxford, that's his own business. But at the end of the day, the reality on ground is that governing Lagos State is a complex issue.
Very.
And it's going to take more than fancy interviews and fancy podcasts for me to believe that he's able to do that.
Ooh, shots fired.
The reason why I supported Peter Obi because Peter Obi was the governor of not any ordinary state in Nigeria, but a very complex
Mm-hmm.
state. Everybody who knows Anambra will know that's a very complex state
Mm-hmm.
in Nigeria. The governor before him, Igige, was kidnapped in broad daylight when he was
Mm-hmm.
governor. Let that pause. Just pause for a minute. Nigerian politics is not the fancy button up stuff they have in America. It's real as it gets. And I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't see him handling that. There was no track record. That's why I said if he had gone for a lesser office and I won, I would have had more faith and be like, okay, this guy can handle it. We can put him on the bigger stage. But he doesn't have anything running with him. And
But he contested or local
uh,
government level and
yeah,
I
he
think
contested. So
Senate or something.
yeah, and low key and like high key, he failed. So
Yeah.
let's get,
They don't
so
kill
that's our
me.
problem in Nigeria is that, we bring out people who don't have any leadership experience in terms of the executive arm of the democratic, executive arm of the government.
Mm-hmm.
I see what it has done for us. The last two governors were shit. I'm not trying to go to another third governor again who doesn't do anything at the end of the day. So everybody's time to show doing, it's time to show working. So that's my own issue with GRV. I'm missing. I'm not voting GRV or I didn't vote for GRV. It doesn't mean I'm pro Sonwolu at the end of the day. You know, it's just how life is. It's not either or anything. It's just that is my own stance, generally. And I don't think GRV looked the part. I think, you know, a lot of the wave about GRV was just Labour Party. And
Yeah.
since people were pissed that Peter Obi could not win, they were like, okay, we could do it again unless the Labour Party overtake Lagos. But clearly we saw, which I already predicted, that it wasn't going to be possible. They couldn't wrest power of APC legally. Or legal APC were not going to hand over legally to any other person.
It was
And
really
one or two,
riding shotgun.
yeah. And one of the reasons is that the man doesn't have the clout. You know, he
Mm,
didn't just have the clout enough to put enough votes in without even the violence or tribalism thing. If it was going head to head, I don't think he had the clout to even win
mm,
solo. That's it. That's my own two combo for this email.
yeah. I mean, I think I agree with you, Ayo. Um, and I feel like this person also kind of. I feel like when let me put it this way, going to university and being academically sound does not necessarily translate into leadership skills. It means that the technical part of it, you'll probably get it done, but there's the empathic and the relationship part of leading, right? I don't think that GRV personally sparked the awe of a leader in me. I I I don't think that he's not smart. I think he's probably so brilliant. Who am I to stand? He probably did excellently well, right? But it's just that thing where Lagos is not a monoculture or monoethnic city. It's a mixture of a lot of people from different tribes and who have come here with their own type of mindset. Um, and just trying to manage all of that and manage even the founding Lagosians as well. He didn't just do it for me, and which is fine, right? That's my opinion, really. Doesn't mean that also I'm not aware of the fact that I want a change in the way Lagos State is governed, right? Which was one of the feels that even moved me to go out to vote on Saturday. But like it was just that thing where, yeah, I mean, I get it, I see it, like great, fresh idea. But for me, he wasn't just there was nothing awe-inspiring about him. He wasn't giving off any strong leadership energy for me, and that's okay. But in the spirit of change, of course, GRV, LP, because especially because we're trying to galvanize this party and keep it going so that it's the opposition party for a long time. So yeah, that's of course, but yeah, it's just my personal opinion on how I sensed him as a person. Yeah, nobody is doubting his intelligence. I'm sure he's brilliant. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
certainly brilliant. And it was during the selection I started to hear stuff like he's not a pure blood. Or he's not a and I'm just like, is he a vampire? Is this a
Shout out to
thing
True Blood.
where
Shout out to
because I
Vampire Diaries.
mean honestly, because I was just it was that's the energy it was giving me. It was just like, okay, you guys chill. But yeah, a lot of ethnic card played in these elections, and it just really opened some people's eyes afresh to the possibility to what it is actually. For me, it wasn't new. It wasn't a new bite for me because I think living in Lagos already sort of has those hints for me. But as much as it did all of that, it's also that thing where I didn't know how to manage all these new emotions of people saying, "Oh, they sent me away because I look, I look that way because I look Igbo," and it's just like I don't know if this is a sub part, this is a sub thing you're trying to do here, or if you're actually feeling the brunt and you really are against this injustice. I can't get it, you know. Um, but yeah, I feel that we have all of these things going on with us, and we kind of have shifted focus away from what is so important. Now going to the elections of March 18. I don't even know why they moved this election date, because I thought they were going to do something remarkable. And all of a sudden, they just messed the whole thing up. It's just like, I mean, I didn't expect it to not be messed up, because we're already hearing vibrations of all of that. But it's just like, so this is what you used 300 billion. This is what you used it plus to do. Wow. It was so crazy for me. Um, I don't know. So many mixed emotions. I feel like I've lost the energy for that I felt. The heat I used to call you Ayo on Saturday. I think I've lost the heat from that day, because honestly, my mind that day was super sharp and alert, literally having different conversations with different of my friends about what was going on, and the state of Lagos moving forward from Saturday, because there's definitely going to be ripple effects for what has happened and for what is going on right now, and the conversations that our politicians have sparked in our minds, right? It's not going to stop just because the elections are done. Um, but what do you imagine that the ripple effect of these conversations would look like, Ayo?
Okay, before I answer that, I think this ties into our tweet of the week. So I'll just plug in the tweet of the week, then we'll start
Okay,
from there.
great.
So a guy called Seriousist tweeted, "Do you see how the Yoruba people that looked Igbo would have been killed if this was an ethnic cleansing? You
Mm-hmm.
think you are safe because you're not Igbo, so you don't speak out against the hate. Continue. It could be you next. It could be your brother." And this, in case anybody has been living under a rock, this basically summarizes the the incidents that happened at a lot of the polling units here in
Yeah.
Lagos, where people were turned out when they were identified they were Igbo, or
Mm-hmm.
where some actually believed, that some touts and thugs actually pointing out people who they thought looked like Igbo people. And we obviously saw that viral clip from CCME. I think her husband was
Yeah.
involved. Much about the husband and other people too
I
were,
think she was with him.
yeah, other people
Mm.
were turned back, and a lot of people were aghast. Me, unfortunately, being in Nigeria for all these years, I already expect the worst out of this country. So, I'm not like one of those Nigerians who stay abroad. I'm very optimistic. I'm not optimistic about it. If I
Where's your
if
hope, Ayo?
if we wake up tomorrow and tell and I find out and I check the news and I say Nigeria has been sold to the Chinese, I won't be surprised, because that is how low this country is anyway. So this stems from this whole tribalism thing stems from the fact that um, Tinubu lost Lagos, even despite all the rigging,
Mm.
he lost Lagos, and that was like a blow to their ego and their blow to their pride. And when I
Mm-hmm.
say there, I'm talking about the APC,
Yeah.
and immediately started whipping up ethnic sentiments, because really, if you've not done anything the last 4 years, that's the only card available for you to play. You can't go out and start saying, "Oh, vote for me because we did this," because we all know you didn't do shit at the end of
Mm-hmm.
it. They play the card, and tribalism is one of, I call it the original sin of Nigeria, just like how racism is the original sin of America. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that no, like when a message is worded in the way it was worded, the way they did it,
Yeah.
to whip up sentiments anywhere in this country. Actually, if you can whip up ethnic sentiments, create a very very strong story behind it, give it a strong hook, it will work wonders for you. And politicians know this, and the political elite know this, and lo and behold, it worked. And we saw
Because they know that there are people who actually
oh
have
yes, oh
sentiments
yes,
already embedded in them.
embedded
Like,
as in whether it's dormant or recessive, they know it is there.
yes.
So it picks up like that, and we all saw the nastiness and ugliness that happened. And there was low voter turnout, and it wasn't due to voter apathy, but just due to the fact that you know, people saw
Intimidation and
people saw that
oppression.
people saw that people were being intimidated and oppression. Now, this was not the scenario all across Lagos anyway. There's some parts in Lagos where people actually stood up and fought back. You know,
Mm-hmm.
shout out to people in Ago Palace. You know, there are a
They
bunch of thugs
pulled
that
up their dogs, man.
and and it warmed my heart that they killed one of the thugs. I'm very very happy. You know,
Hey,
yes.
please don't kill me.
The only thing they fucked up is that they didn't carry tire to burn his corpse, so that his people will not even have chance to bury him properly.
They said
So
it
that
was the police that shot that guy, Sha.
anyone, it gladdens my heart that
Oh my
somebody died.
god.
You know, I saw photos of people carrying planks. A lot of people carry their dogs. I saw a man in my neighborhood roaming around with dogs. You know, I don't like dogs,
Really?
but for this reason, please, people should bring out dogs, and they should look for dogs that have rabies, foaming at the
Oh my
mouth.
god.
So when they bite their balls like this, it is castration and rabies straight. Your death is sure. Loot cannot handle rabies and castration at the same time. The equipment is not enough for that. You will die on the spot.
You know that our
Yeah.
politicians leverage a lot of the poverty of the people,
Oh
and that's
yes.
why they will always have thugs
Yeah.
to do their bidding. I think the idea right now is for us to have more consciousness politically, or continue to work on this our consciousness and keep it long enough so that, like, there's a general reform, and there's a larger understanding of how best to go from here, because the APC government is really, really giving
Yeah.
off a lot of leadership by all means,
Yeah.
or power by all means
It's do
energy.
or die. It's do or
Do you get
die.
what I
Because
mean?
in the next four
They have,
years, this is a party
yeah,
that obviously will continue to how will I put it, to use poverty as they'll weaponize poverty. So there's
listen,
no, you can't even imagine that poverty situation in Nigeria will get better because they need the foot soldiers to go and fight. Tinubu's daughter is not going to go and fight on the road for votes. So only children are not going to go and fight. But the people who they've denied access to good health care and good
mm-hmm,
education are the ones that will go and fight and die. So
exactly.
don't expect anything great from these people at the end of the day. Now, in terms of the silence of silence of people when this was happening, I would like to say that the people who support APC, took a big L because even from the presidential election, we could see what
Mm-hmm,
was happening, and they all kept quiet. They all kept quiet, and this is the reason why when APC won the presidential election, and when
mm-hmm.
they even won the Lagos State election, there wasn't any jubilation or partying over the states.
The
It's
APC
just
literally told PDP, hold my glass.
yeah,
Let me show you how to do this shit. They
people
bought INEC.
people were not
What?
celebrating at all. It felt like you could feel it you could feel it in the hearts of Lagosians. You could see it in the streets that it felt like a defeat. You know,
See, there was a heavy cloud.
yeah, this is an
We're
unpopular.
drenched by our emotions.
Yeah,
Oh,
someone who leads an unpopular government in Lagos, he will always be seen as a pawn. Tinubu in Abuja would not have the moral authority to rule this country. He doesn't even have he didn't even get a consensus, the
do you get
majority
what
to
I
rule.
mean?
So everything they based around them is legitimacy. And it's just a shame, going back to Lagos, that Lagos is being the person dictating to people who to vote for in Lagos is an
Mm-hmm.
illiterate, a boss
It's
pack
out.
illiterate, whose children study abroad. Let's not even talk about how he got the money for that. The
Listen,
NURTW or the Lagos Park and Recreation, whatever the fuck they call it now, is a scam. It is
making
basically
money in billions of
it is
naira
basically
every year.
embezzling money. No, I've said it again. As a metropolis that they called metro, no single bus park is, is standardized or even like it is. Everything is rubbish. If you come to Lagos bus
Sham.
parks, everything is a sham. So
Sham.
what's the benefit of collecting this money? I
See, the
don't think
bus
any
park.
Danfo driver has dental health. It doesn't have a dental package.
What? You're
Package.
joking. That's too
Every
far
year,
now.
he's entitled to leave. Blah blah blah.
No. They
And
don't
it's
have they
yeah,
don't have basic they don't have paracetamol. I think paracetamol is even too far. There's really no respect or regards for
penicillin.
those guys. I think there's
Yeah.
just a ranking, like there's a thing to grow through.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't know. I should actually. What I don't know. There's this. Do you know this? Did you know this movie on Netflix? Our boys.
I've not watched it, but it's a documentary about the NURT
Yeah,
graduation.
I think it would be
NURT.
something to watch actually in these times. Maybe
Yeah.
to better understand their business, their organizational structure.
Because
In a
it just shocks
sense.
me that a city of 20 million people will be heading ransom to a man who cannot write his name, who cannot write a single sentence. And
See,
it's a
it's
shame that we know
police for
people.
me.
Yeah. And it's a shame that we know people who actually support APC who keep quiet. Let's forget about the Yoruba actors or the Yoruba movie industry, which
See,
is more of a prostitution racket, a
yeah.
prostitution ring, more
Why do
than
you feel that way? Why do you feel
oh,
it's for
I will say
prostitution?
this clearly that most of the actresses in Yoruba Nollywood are fucking either they are fucking Sonolu or they are fucking big boys around the Sonolu circle. And that
Are
is
you
why it's very
kidding me
hard.
though?
I'm not joking. And that is why it's very hard for them to come out and speak against I not Sonolu, sorry, against
But against the APC government.
yeah, they can't most of them are actually fucking MC Olomo. So they can't the men
Oh
depend on
man,
him for
just lover was dropping one gist that when my head was spinning me, I didn't even want
the
to look
men
at
the
it.
men depend on him for patronage and the women also depend on him for patronage. And obviously, woman man relationship. So at the end of the day,
Crazy.
it's crazy. And this just goes to show you that we shout for good governance, but Nigerians are not ready for good governance. There
We're
are
not
people amongst us who would rather be slaves than be free.
see. It's
It
like
just clearly showed in this last election.
if it was a conversation of oppressor as against oppressed, it would have been different. But it's amongst the oppressed, there are people who agree with the oppressor. And so
Oh yes.
it's like it's like 5 steps forward and 20 steps backwards every
Yeah.
time.
At the end
Because
of the
there
day,
are
we're
people
fighting amongst ourselves.
counterplotting. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
We forget what it is that truly matters, the basics that binds all of us. Why are you not asking your governors for more opportunities in the states? Why is this state not viable enough for people to do business? How about housing? Why is it so difficult to find accommodation in Lagos? Why is it so expensive? How about what about road jams? How about hold up? What about go slow? Go slow has never changed in this country. Why
The
is it called
people,
go slow till now? It get
yeah.
why? Do you get
The
what I
people who
mean?
support the people who support Sonolu will enter the same hold up now.
Do you get what I mean?
At the
It's
end of
not
the
like
day.
when you
At the
want
end
to
of the
enter
day.
the hold up, just be like, oh, you look like you supported APC. Yeah, calm
You look
down.
like
We
an
have a
APC
new road
voter.
for you.
Yeah,
We've
all of
got
us
you
go soft
sorted.
now.
Do you
So that's why I said
understand?
that a lot of Nigerians prefer to be slaves than
It's
actually be
so
free.
crazy. So, and the conversation before the elections where people were saying, Lagos is working, AOT to get it. I got into an Uber last week before the elections. That was on Friday. And I
Yeah.
was speaking to the Uber guy and I was like, oh, what do you think about Lagos? Is Lagos working? Say, sister is working. No. This guy is from Osun State and he has
It
come to
depends.
Lagos,
So
you
yeah,
know.
obviously, I wanted to say that maybe he just came to Lagos, so he's
Oh
wowed.
no. So he's been here for a bit, right? Maybe
Oh.
like some 20 years here.
Maybe
He
he's
has
making money or some place that we don't know about.
let me tell you what his definition of Lagos working is. He said, before in the daytime, they'll come and rob you in your house. But
Okay.
now it's only in the night.
Vampire. We're back to vampires again.
I was
I think
like, shit.
that's the title of this podcast now.
Literally,
Vampires.
you're
So we
vampires.
have
Fucking
vampire
blood.
robbers again.
Do you
It's so
understand what
sad.
I mean?
So that's
It's just like
progress that they don't rob me in the day now. It's in the night.
daytime is in the
Mm.
night.
Such polite robbers. We thank you very much.
See, they actually respect you. Just like in daytime, you need to hustle. In the night, we'll come chill with you. Do you get what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
just a thing where I was speaking to a friend of mine, and we're saying, let us talk about one sector in this democratic state of Lagos that is
Mm-hmm.
actually functioning. If you talk about transportation, you give us
Dead.
it's like
Dead.
do you understand? It's a thing of cause and effect, right? So there's traffic, but the effect to the traffic is to give us BRT buses, which does not in turn solve the transportation problem.
It doesn't because you've cut the road. The road that we are managing, you've cut one lane out of
Do you
it.
get what I mean?
So it makes
In
the
this
other lane,
congested city.
it congested
Um,
city.
give me something else. You this it's still in the vein of transportation. You've been building a track for years upon years till now.
Small track, small
Do you
track.
understand?
You know,
You say a waterway, but it's not functioning. It's
not
not. It's
function.
not. It's not like there's no effect, positive effect to
Housing,
all
housing is still a problem. Healthcare is still a problem.
shit. Education, shit.
Yeah,
Like,
like if
what's really
so,
working
everything.
in
So
Lagos?
not is when people that say Lagos is working, it's working for them because they are seeing where they can steal money from. But generally, it's not working for everybody at the end of the day. And
Listen,
the Sonlu administration is just built on his scam. His 8 years will be probably one of the worst 8 years that Lagos State will have to
well,
go
the
through.
next 4 years,
Yeah,
we've done the
well,
first half. We need to pat ourselves on the back for that.
yeah, yeah.
But I hate that. I hate how much INEC has failed us in these times and
Okay, so
how
that's another
how
talking point right now. Like
do you
INEC,
understand?
INEC was a scam this election. You can just put that to bed.
A
It was a
whole
scam.
mess.
Yeah,
In an ideal country, this election should be cancelled. 2023 elections never happened.
an organization that what they budgeted 30 billion for, and it's puff plastic that they use to.
300, not
Oh,
30,
sorry,
Ayo.
300,
300.
300 billion. And it was puff plastic they used to come and
Listen,
cut our votes. Shout out to INEC. Shout out to everybody who works at INEC. It's all
no, they're
good.
definitely, they're actually bad guys. Like,
Mahmoud
they're legit
Yakubu,
bad
his name
guys.
is, what's his name? Mahmoud Yakubu. What's
Mahmoud,
the,
yeah.
has been a
His
failure.
head should be rolling
He
somewhere.
said, but we don't pay for competence in this country. We actually reward the competence. People don't actually. So
So
that is it. At the end of the
it's
day, that's what
literally that
corruption.
thing. It's
That's
literally
what
that
corruption.
thing
Yeah,
that when you see something bad, you're just like, now wow, and you just go on. There's
yeah.
nothing, there's no consequence for it.
The reason why a US will work, a UK will work, a Canada will work is that once you fuck up, you are fired. There is no way. And depending on the sensitivity of your job, you might not be
Mm-hmm.
allowed to work in that space anymore. But in Nigeria, or this Mamu Yakubu, they'll give him chieftaincy title somewhere else.
Listen,
He'll be promoted now. Something will just happen to him.
see, is how he flouted all the laws necessary, from the electoral law to security. Everything is just like a
Then
mess.
another one again was security, because security was a joke.
Those
Once again,
police people, they were
they said that
there. They were there as
police
bystanders.
police is not going to help us in this country. Police only does
Listen,
two things: to extort, terrorize innocent Nigerians, and to form security for rich Nigerians. That is
yeah,
all.
do the biddings of the
Niger-
1%.
That's what Nigerian police is
Literally.
good for. Nigerian police will not solve crime, will not do anything. So there was a polling unit near me, and
Mm-hmm.
some guys started fighting. I guess I don't know why they were fighting, sir. And another polling unit that was just 20 steps away. The policeman was there. Did not even he didn't even act as if he saw them. Just continued doing what he was doing.
My dear.
Yeah.
All the
So
policemen
so
in
in terms of
it
security in Lagos State again, is zero.
was terrible.
Yeah, it was really, really terrible. INEC, security forces, I can't say much about the military because military will come when the wala started. That is when they will come. They're like the
Do you
last
understand?
resort. Yeah.
But this election, we're actually supposed to declare a state of emergency at the point because
See,
what?
Nigeria should declare a state of emergency upon itself because every sector is deserves
It's
a state of emergency.
crumbling.
Nigeria is in wartime. Like every sector should declare that this is state of emergency and should be treated as if it is wartime.
Do you
You know.
understand what I mean?
But we'll keep on dancing, we'll keep on doing like this, and the next 4 years our lives will not get better. And people will still come out and say, Tinubu has tried. You should go and run
No,
for
but
it.
of course, there are some people who actually. Somebody actually sent me a message to you. I will tell you
Yeah.
that Tinubu is one of the baddest politicians to come from the southwest.
So when you say the baddest, right, you have to understand that
In response to your conversations on loose talk, by the way.
yeah, so oh yeah, I know what you're saying. like the baddest, but it doesn't mean that his baddest is good. So he has power, he has influence, but he's not even near like obviously like the number one is Awolowo because of what he did. Second will be Obasanjo, two-time head of state, definitely. Obasanjo had his bad sides, but also obviously had his good sides. Like you can't compare Obasanjo and Tinubu. You can't put them in the
So
same sentence at all.
so
At all.
his argument is this, right? That um Tinubu is a people his people actually saying him, or people say he's a kingmaker, right? He's the one
Yeah.
who gives to,
So
he has his people, and
yeah.
he's been able to create that network for himself to be able to be as powerful as he is, to
Oh
have people
yes,
to do
yes.
his
So he knows
bidding.
how to create alliances
Exactly.
across the
And
nation.
for that reason.
Yeah. But I don't think that's anything positive for us because who we help at the end of the day is just helping the Tinubu kingdom, the
See,
Tinubu cartel.
power by
It's not,
all means necessary,
yeah,
literally.
it's not helping us with the poor, with the average Nigerians. So
Listen,
even if it's one of the biggest, it doesn't mean it's good. And again, in Nigeria, like I said, the bar is very low. So when you say you're the best in Nigeria, just I beg, go and sit down. Go and sit down. It's not
you're
as if
probably
you
doing what you're meant to be doing, and
yeah,
everybody's
bro.
clapping for you.
It's like
It's not
when you
like anything
just
exceptional.
yeah, it's like when you just do the basic and everybody's saying, "Oh, you're wonderful." Like at
Do
the
you
end of
see
the
that
day,
PDP guy that won in Akwa Ibom?
oh, shout out to people of Akwa Ibom.
And no.
I love that state. If I have to move, I'll go to that
Happy
state.
hour, baby.
See, they said there are two things they like in
See,
that state: alcohol
Cruz.
and sex. And I'm like, God bless. You see, this is a state that is a
It's
this
after
is
your own heart.
yeah.
See,
Lagos is too
promise
hard.
you good tire.
Lagos is too
See your
hard.
waist to be lubricated so much.
Yes,
You
now.
go
So
you go tire.
even those Lagos babes self, now you have to be drawing map. You have to draw content plan.
My dear, Lagos
But
is expensive. Have you
Just
checked
give
it?
the carry the girl to one bar, happy hour, you're done. Sharp, sharp. There's
That's
no
what you would
front.
think until you go there and see some babes, the girls that
I
want to
beg.
travel and come to
You
Lagos
forget that
and spend the
you forget that
weekend.
Lagos is New York. They say Lagos
Don't
is the best.
worry. That's what people think. Oh,
Mm.
it's when you
That's what
enter some places.
that's why
You
ABC
know,
tells us that Lagos is New York, so we should be happy.
you know that the way you're saying now that you want to leave Lagos and go to places like that. I have a
Yeah.
friend who lives in Akwa Ibom. He left Lagos and went to Akwa Ibom and
Shout
stuff.
out to him.
Do you
No
get what I
hala.
mean? And
Yeah.
he's just like, I want to come to Lagos. I'm
Why?
tired now, but this place I have my rest. Like I have my life,
Oh, you
honestly.
have your rest. Yeah.
Yeah, and
You
doesn't
should.
mean that those guys are not like they don't have their own elite amongst them who that
Oh,
with their eyes are open
they have big
and
boys
also
there
know
now.
define things. Don't
Obviously.
underestimate people.
I'm just like
Soft
saying like
babes.
I'm just in general like the culture, obviously. It's not going to be as Lagos is very
Lagos is
it's
rowdy,
too stressful.
please.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's too hard. You have to be burning your face every day in the morning and all that stuff. But
you say you have
with
to
time,
move your face in the morning. That's actually a
yes,
prerequisite because
yeah,
you can't wake up smiling.
yeah.
You really can't.
So one last thing I want to say, like in this small talking point, is that after this election, it is clear that for me, I'm not coming out to vote in the next
Mm.
4 years because we can see that the electoral setup has been designed, orchestrated by a
The
certain,
current one, the
yeah,
current
the current
one.
one
This is one we're
by
trying to fight.
the political elite. So I'm not going to go into a place where I already know that you already own the key, you already own the blueprint, you own
I
everything, you
get
know it
JJ Jimma.
head to toe. What will save Nigeria is not election. We can clearly see that one now. We used to wonder, we used to criticize our parents that, oh, why were they
Mm.
tired? Why don't they fight for Nigeria? But bro, they've seen everything. They fought the
But
military,
I can't
which is the
let you.
hardest. Which is the hardest. They fought the
I can't
military.
let you
June 12,
not
1993 was annulled in their faces where somebody who clearly was heading to
shout out
victory.
to also Abiola movement. But
Yeah,
yeah.
IBB God will punish you. That's why your leg is paining you till today. Yeah,
I
he
don't
has
think that
leg, he
you
has a
me.
leg,
Oh
he has like
really? Is it arthritis?
what I don't know what he has, but watch it. He doesn't wear normal shoes. He has to wear like canvas, like special made shoes for him. Yeah,
Mm.
he has an ailment. Yeah, and it is the what he did in 1993 that has caused this wahala. You
Listen.
know, so clearly we can see if they can steal Abiola's mandates. Obviously, you can see what happened in this election,
No, but Peter
bro.
Obi is in court though. We're about to take back
See,
our
I've said
mandate.
it. When a naked man tells you that he wants to sell you clothes, be wary,
Ah,
be cautious.
I
Yeah.
I can't let you not vote. Your
I
hope
mean,
needs to be alive.
I can. Don't worry. I'm not voting. Don't worry.
See, you don't know. You don't know what can change. You could.
Nothing can
You could be
change.
that voice that could
I'm not
actually
that
change
voice. I could be that
everything.
voice, oh, but it's not going to happen to election. That's all I know. Just continue
Ayo, you
for.
can't not vote. You need to not lose hope. Ayo, you could be the person
I've
that's going to
lost hope.
change this narrative.
I've lost hope in election.
See,
Maybe
Ayo,
maybe our
you know,
salvation is coming from somewhere else. But this
you know how
election,
that your tweet went viral just like that.
which tweet was that?
There's one tweet that you tweeted that made it to our tweet of the week. Safe.
Was it the Peter Obi one?
I think so.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was like, oh, I said you should vote LP from top to bottom, everything, and people
You
listen.
see, do you get what I mean? It could
Yeah,
be just that one viral tweet
but
too.
it's
It could
not
be
the
just
case.
that thing that's about
Oh,
to
yeah.
change the status quo.
Make we wait and see. But
Because
if
we need to continue to be collectively angry,
I'm collecting,
actionably too.
it's not as if I'm not angry and there's no action. But I don't think, honestly, to me, the election is the way to save Nigeria. It's not possible.
I agree. To be honest, I completely agree. Because it cannot be well. You know, when people say, it is well, let it favor us. A
The
corrupt leader
language,
cannot bring forth
yeah.
the kind of beauty that we or the kind of structure that we should be looking forward to right now.
Hmm.
Do you get what I mean? And we should be upset because if this is a democracy, our rights have been infringed on as people. And how does that work? How come there are no consequences for action? Do you get what I mean?
Because we live in a country where there are no consequences for actions. So
Which is so crazy. It's really crazy because why? We have people who are still trying to toe the line of ethnicity or tribe when we have different cultures here in Nigeria who also reside here in Lagos. And we all contribute collectively to the growth of Lagos State. If we all went out of Lagos, really, right, and left it to only call Lagosians, this is Yorubas who are not even from Lagos that now claim Lagos because the conversation previously was if you're not a Lagosian. And then the conversation started to spike up of who is a Lagosian, if you've lived here for so amount of years. But like, if we leave it to the core Lagosians to run Lagos or to be in Lagos, what's the economy going to look like? Lagos gets the revenue it gets, the even the internet, the IGL, because of the size of Lagos in terms of population.
mhm.
And so if you're saying everybody should leave and go back to their states, what is this mega city that works in quotes going to look like for the average Lagosian?
It look like Lagos during Christmas.
It will be so empty. There won't be all of that growth. And I think that people don't even look at it from that perspective. We're so small minded and we're still talking
And
about
so
how
like I
some
said,
people want to take over.
when you're a slave or like a zombie, that is what happens. You don't think. You just go with what you've been told by your
Listen,
masters. Yeah.
zombie.
Okay.
I
All
know
right.
that was for the police, but like, yeah,
All
it's
right.
just really crazy.
Before we round up, I think we have release therapy today or tonight or this
I
morning.
already have released therapy. Actually, you guys, it's so wild the time we're actually recording to 3 4 right now. Whatever you're listening to, this is Ayo's bedtime voice,
I'm supposed
and
to be
he's
sleeping now.
cranky. He's
I'm
a
supposed to be
cranky
sleeping.
30+
I
man
am I am supposed to be
because
doing VG, CBIC VG. But no,
it's not only video.
Phil doesn't
This
want me to
is
sleep.
the this is the part of Ayo that your girls be DMing him for. You see, bringing it to you on a platter of gold.
Don't DM me, please.
Oh, your MCM.
Give your life to Christ. Don't DM me, please.
Oh my god! Before we go into release therapy and we have the Esquire, break it down as it should be. I'll just say in closing for this tribal bigots in Lagos or in Nigeria, whoever or wherever they are, that we need to actually stop functioning from a place of lack. is because we feel that we don't see beyond our nose, and so we can't see the strengths in each of us, and try to see how we can work together to grow the country. Because whether we like it or not, you don't want us to go, and I speak for Igbos when I say this. You don't want us to go, but you don't want us to stay. So what do you want us to do? We should fake it.
It
We should
sounds like a
fly and
toxic.
hang in the
Sounds like
middle.
it.
I'm
Sounds
so
like a toxic.
confused.
Sounds like a toxic
Do you understand
relationship.
what I mean? Yeah, like it's so nasty. If you don't want us, what do you really want us to do? And if you're not going to function from a place of abundance where you'd say, okay, this is the strength of this person, this is the strength of this person, this is the strength of this person, let's all come together and see how we can make this thing work, then we'll probably not get anywhere at this point, because we all need to build Lagos together at the end of the day. Lagos City is what it is because we are building together. And if at some point you start to feel some sort of intimidation from a story that was told to you and implanted in your heart, you've imbibed and you're growing with, then you need to unlearn, because how are they going to take from you? If all the spare parts guys in Lagos leave Lagos, what's it
I
going to
beg,
do?
I
I saw
beg,
one
I beg,
stupid
I
tweet
beg, I beg.
of
They should not
somebody
leave. I
saying they
beg. I
want to
never buy
take.
Benz. I never buy Benz to take more girls, please, please.
Somebody said once the Igbos leave Lagos, please,
Yeah,
they want to take a
take a
banner. I was
banner,
just like,
please.
look at this crazy
I
person.
blocked that guy because one, that guy is old and foolish. Like you already have. Like why are you living like this? I heard that that's what he does.
So
He
you
just
think
instigates. He instigates. Wahala on
that's so
timeline.
fucked up? It's
Yeah.
just like, so Ebano will leave and they will leave the business and run. Oh, I'm so confused.
Shout
It will
out to
take
Ebano. Every Friday,
they
Ebano pulls up. He's a pulls up for me. I beg. That night they chop. I beg.
listen.
I beg in the name
I
of
don't
God.
even get it. So you guys, like, it's just a thing now where it's so clear that you can see the people and the need for them in different sectors, but it's
Oh
just
yeah.
like this jealousy now. I don't know whatever it is,
That
but we
one is
need
that
to unlearn
that
it.
person is an idiot, and
Do you get what
I
I
blocked
mean?
like I think I blocked like 50 people on Twitter yesterday.
Does it follow you?
It doesn't follow me, but just some case I don't want to see because I can just abuse and manage emotion,
Listen,
and they'll not look and
I
see it.
saw it
Oh,
on my WhatsApp and I was just like, somebody actually wrote this and sent it out and tweeted it.
that person
People
has
are
family.
ballsy.
Yeah, that one has family. Like in
You know that
in a same
people
country,
get arrested for threats in a same
see,
country.
in
Actually,
a
in
same
Nigeria,
country,
the law
you'll
is
be
that if
fired.
somebody threatens you, do you understand? It's as
In
good as the
America, if you
person
made
actually causing you harm.
yeah, in America, if you made that kind of statement, oh my Lord, have mercy, you are gone.
See,
HR will just send
do
you
you
email.
know,
Don't bother to come to work. There is no need.
if
Just
a
stay
friend of
at
mine was saying something that look at the way the Jews fucked up Kanye, right? Like once he
yeah.
spoke up against them,
I love the views. I love the views.
do you
Shout out to
understand what
them.
I'm saying? And once he spoke up against them, that's how Igbo people need to get. We need to
So
be angry. We
yeah,
need to be upset and
but you don't
shut
want to,
down so
but
that
you don't
people can
want.
see. And I was like,
So, so
points.
that's a history. That's a whole segment because the reason why Jews are like that is because they went through one of the
Yeah.
most harrowing experiences ever in mankind.
So what could be more harrowing than
I
over
think
3
maybe
million of your kinsmen being killed?
over 6 million being killed. And like I'm saying, wait, just
Exactly.
chill. Look at where I'm going to. The
Mm-hmm.
Jews are more than this history lesson, Shabo. Anyway,
Yeah.
the reason why the Jews can do this is because they have leveraged their economic power, right? And which the blacks don't do in America, which is a shame because the
So,
blacks. Let me just give you let
Ayo,
me just give you a breakdown.
I agree
The
with
blacks
you.
the blacks would rather use celebrities to talk for them, but you never say Jewish celebrities come and fight for. They bring out the best of them, like the academia, the doctors, the lawyers, the professors, right? And I think
Mm-hmm.
it's an
Mm-hmm.
unwritten policy that once anybody mentions anything anti-Semitic, they come for you and your business
Yeah.
because they practically own. I don't want to say this because they practically, but
Everything.
they're very
But they are
influential
very influential.
because
Yes.
they've
So,
harnessed the power of who they are, right? Right?
but they grew into that as well, right?
Yeah.
It
And
was several lessons shown
yeah,
for them
and
to have grown and for
that
people to
lesson was
know as
that lesson was too
sorry.
harsh. that lesson was too harsh.
Listen, but at the end of the day, you can't keep pushing the people against the wall and then you don't expect them to start to think of how to protect themselves.
Yeah, if you look at the Jews now, the Jews obviously speak in one voice. And I don't want to talk about this because the guys are not so anyway. But you can see what Inamani did, right?
Let me tell you.
Because you lost an election. I'm even surprised you know that you used to.
Instead of running your brother in the ground.
You now, and I'm like, how does this move the agenda forward right now?
See,
right? Because you lost to a Labour Party candidate and you now went guns blazing like a child to be abused.
You know what? We don't even talk enough about our insecurities within ourselves or amongst ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, that's another.
Even
that's
as countrymen.
That's another.
Do you understand?
Topic on his own.
Listen, but yeah, I mean, we'll have to look past all of this at some point and actually start to face the things that matters collectively to all of us. The sooner we get up on that agenda, the best for every one of us. If not, we'll keep making the same mistakes and expecting different results, and that's a full story, But yeah.
All right.
To release therapy.
To release our brain. Our mind.
Because people are in love and getting heartbroken. And they need to know.
You're in love in a time of war. You are not serious in this country.
No, because love transcends all. You need to be in love. Listen, it heals all wounds.
Now so.
It's a big decision. But we're getting into it. This person says, here, AOT2 and Ugochi. I'm back again. Let me go straight to the point. Thank you, darling. I sent a release therapy last year in September. We've been doing this for that long, Ayo. Interesting. Yeah. So, release therapy in September concerning my dilemma with two guys. One who was giving me good sex but was a bit condescending towards me, and the other who was sweet but inexperienced in sex. Anyways, I started dating this sweet guy. That's my part. Sorry. And guess what? After a million trials, open brackets, exaggeration, the sex has been terrible. I personally think he has ED, erectile dysfunction, or just struggles with sex. I've asked him severally if he is sexually attracted to me, and he keeps assuring me, but we struggle every time. I don't want to get into details, but let's just say I'm suffering. I'm feeling this girl's pain. I'm not even going to lie. I've had the conversation on how important it is to me, and he keeps telling me he's trying. Well, I cheated twice. Ew. With the other guy who I'm warming up to, and I didn't even regret it. The issue now is he's talking marriage. I definitely cannot keep up with someone I don't enjoy sex with. The problem is, how do I tell him I'm no longer interested without hurting him? I advise he talks to his GP, but he keeps saying it's anxiety and maybe being married will solve it. What do you think? I don't think I can cope, and I don't know if this can change. Fingers crossed. Keep me anonymous, please. Lover girl. Heart emoji.
All right.
The Esquire.
My fellow sister in Christ.
It's a thing of the flesh.
Let me take you to the good book. The best-selling book of all time. 2 Corinthians 6:14.
Tell them.
Where Apostle Paul stated, if do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. See, my dear sister, you are unequally yoked with a man that does not worship your body.
Don't kill me. What?
Yes. So I won't lie to you, bro. One of the pillars of a good relationship is sex.
Is Max. Hands down.
If the guy is not making you hit the high notes or more.
Where it matters.
My sister, do like the Israelites the night before Passover. Get ready to flee when the morning comes.
I'm screaming.
Just gently break it to this guy that you can't. Don't give him the reason why. Just so that it's not just working at the end of the day. Because as a grown man, I think it is necessary for you to know that you have to be capable in bed. It's just normal, bro.
But
not just for a man. I think for both genders, you should be. It's one of the criteria. Come on.
Tell me. Tell me
What do
something.
you
You
say?
know, she mentioned that she had cheated on her boyfriend with the guy.
The Lord has given us grace. The Lord has,
Hmm. I love
forgiven.
it. It's
Yes,
the
He died on
support
the
for
cross.
me.
He died on the cross for this kind of sins. So
I love it. You
the
can
world don't do it.
search him
See,
while he's still near.
the world has done it. We know this is not new. It has happened. So just gently break up with the guy and say that it's not working. And look
Listen.
for somebody who will respect you in who will respect you publicly but disrespect you in bed. I think
Ooh,
that's the best of both worlds you are looking for. Try and look for that kind of person that you make a
love
lady in the
it.
street, but inside that bed or more,
I
you
beg
treat you
sometimes if we to the wine mouth
it's
sometimes
if
treat you like what?
you treat you like a 500 naira hooker on Allen Avenue. Yeah.
Uh-uh,
So
uh-uh.
that is it. So
Tell
it's better you
them.
stop. It's better you stop this discussion before you enter marriage, before the guy goes on one knee.
See,
You know, I think he needs a harsh reality check, and the harsh reality check is that he needs to know how to perform in bed. It's just one of the criteria of a good partner. It's not. I know in Africa we don't
so
like to, or in Nigeria we don't like talking about this, but please, my guys, sabi drill. You have to drill. Drill a machine. Be like Shell,
listen,
be like Moby. Drill for oil,
even though like
please.
statistically women come a lot more from cunnilingus than penetration, but okay,
But
that's my conversation today on the table.
yes, all are the same.
Yeah.
Coming is coming. As long as I make you come, is fine.
Hustle your calm. You need to hustle your orgasms, guys. You
Any
need to be
come is fine.
serious and hustle for
And you've
them.
tried. You've tried. You've
Listen,
tried. You've carried your cross. You said 1 million times, bro.
you need to hustle.
How much more will a woman take at the end of the day? And the way
Do
you
you
said that,
understand?
you said he didn't talk to his GP. I guess you guys are in the UK, and UK is cold. The winter in UK is
Mm,
like Game of Thrones winter. And you need
listen.
somebody to be firing your inner parts. So my
Listen,
dear
do you
sister,
know how?
do
Do
like
you know how?
do like Potiphar's wife and look for the nearest guy to live with. Thank you.
Please don't kill me.
Yes, sir.
You know, I want to say something. Do you know, like of recent, I've been thinking about what it feels like to be desired by somebody,
Shout out
and
to
like
you.
not just desiring a person, but like following it up. Like for desire to happen, is that you're super attracted to this person, and when you're around this person, you just really want to be all over the person, right?
Yeah.
But I can't imagine how this babe feels, man. It's
Sorry.
just like maybe he even spruces her up sometimes real good, and she's like, "This is it," and they just get there and just like, "Fuck, my god, the excitement dashed." No, man, I'll say like at the end of the day, she's the only one who can make this decision because you have to be
Yeah.
sure that this is something that you really want. It's something that matters to you. That
Yeah.
many years from now you'll look back at this and you'll feel no regrets.
Yeah. And the worst thing is that
Um,
you don't want to get married to somebody who doesn't fulfill your desires.
do
Before
you
you
get
know
what I
it,
mean?
you now become all those ladies who go to the gym and go and knock like gym
Please
instructors.
don't kill me. Well, please, if you want, who are you talking about now?
I'm
People
just
that go
speaking
to the
generally.
gym
I'm just speaking
and they,
generally.
they go and knock their instructors. Who are they?
Yes.
Do you know I find those things
Married
hard to
women.
believe?
Okay, they deal.
I
They deal.
really, honestly, like I see people working out in the gym. That's what I see. People working for their gain.
Would they knock in front of you? They
But
won't knock
like
in
you'll be
front of
seeing some sexual chemistry, no?
you. Yes,
When
now.
there be chemistry, if you're knocking somebody in the gym is such a well, I can see how it can be hidden, Sha. If you say let them
So,
help you break your back, I want to massage your back for you, not lie down. That's
yeah.
but we think it's normal.
hmm That's foreplay.
You
Anyway,
know
my
what I
dear
mean?
sister, we will be able to convince you and not confuse you on the facts of life.
I feel that also this is not a thing where we're saying that she should now go back. She should be with the guy
Oh, that's why I
who
said look for
that
somebody who
one giving her
respects you.
better knacks. So doesn't
That's
mean that
why I
she should try to end up with that guy either because remember she said he was condescending.
yeah. That's why I said that that look for somebody who respects you.
At the
You
end
should
of the day, see somebody that you're happy going back home to, and if the person touches you, you know that the energy is going to meet yours like back, right?
yeah.
But at the end of this is I'm not gonna tell you stay or go. You know you weigh your pros and your cons better because the only part of this relationship we're hearing is the sex parts. We're not hearing about all the other parts. So I'm guessing you decide at the end of the day. Now you hold all the cards. Literally, you hold the ace. Now you hold yam, whole knife. So cut as you please.
All
Anyway,
right. Flop and prop of the week, which is not going to come as a surprise. Flop of the week are to
I might be shocked actually.
the ethnic bigots who are amongst us, who look like normal human beings.
Oh my god,
But
I'm
deep
so
inside
shocked.
their hearts, deep inside their hearts, they have a message of hate and
Listen,
wickedness. The Lord will continue to expose you people, and your day of judgment is coming very soon.
especially the ones that went to go and vote and were pointing out to the thugs who their non-Yoruba
Yeah,
neighbors were. Those are the
especially the
ones,
neighbors. Yeah,
especially.
the people that are in your neighborhood in the same compound with you who not stop, because that's how ethnic cleansing or genocide starts. It's from the
Yeah,
people who know you at the end of the day.
that's it.
Yeah,
Like you,
that's some
you go
Rwanda shit.
and you. Do you understand? Who sit to see what about genocide, and you just be sleeping, and somebody will just. Those are the guys. Those are the real flops of the week. Those guys. Those particular ones because it's different when the person has an idea, but when you actually then like carry it out, you are the one. You are the wheel. You're the actual wheel, and that's so shitty.
Yeah.
But middle finger to y'all though.
All right. Prop of the week. Now, prop of the week has to go to all the voters who turned up.
That's me.
The
Thank you so
threats of
much.
despite the threats of violence, voter
That's me.
suppression. You guys are the real
But you're
heroes.
giving my flowers now.
I've given you flowers now.
Call my name.
Me,
I can be
I was
representative of the people
okay.
that voted, of the voters.
Ugochi and Co. Shout out to
No,
you.
say just Ugochi.
Okay, Ugochi, you tried. Thank you.
Yes, being the
A true
face,
hero,
right?
a
Of
true,
two, three,
a
four
true,
that went to vote.
a true heroine of democracy.
That's me. A true
Mm.
custodian.
The
Because
formula
I'm here
ransom
to
kuti,
demand.
the formula ransom kuti of our time.
Do you understand what I mean? I'm here to
Mm-hmm.
demand our freedom every day. I'm not any way I can plug into the system right now, I'll plug
Yeah.
in. That's it.
Because God
Fighting.
knows that me on that day I was in my
What did you
house.
watch though?
I was watching Snowfall.
What's
Thank you.
that? A
Oh,
series?
it's a series, yeah. It's a
Is it mad?
series. Yeah, it's about how crack cocaine entered America. You know, a fictional tale of how crack cocaine entered America.
Hmm.
It's
Interesting. Why is
the
it
lead actress,
fictional?
and because it's not the real story, it's just like
Story.
a dramatized story. Yeah, is
Hmm.
the lead character is a Nigerian guy, Damson Idris, who has been
Interesting.
trending.
Oh, that yes, he has
Yeah,
been trending.
he has been trending. So yeah, that's what me I did on that day. But shout out to all the
Is his
voters.
acting stellar in the movie?
Yeah, his voice is good. He's British now. He's British Nigerian, so
Mm,
both the
mm-hmm,
British and
mm-hmm.
British we act very well.
See,
Anyway,
representing.
shout out
That's
to all
why
the
we in
voters who
Nigeria
came
will be
out.
claiming them.
The boy has claimed us because he's singing in Yoruba, so I guess you know.
It's a two-way street. That's okay.
Yeah,
Get that.
yeah. So shout out to all the voters who came out. God will bless your hustle.
Man, bless everybody that also tried to reach out to check in on us, see how we're
Yeah.
doing, and all our just every Nigerians everywhere who are in one way or the other putting their voice towards the betterment of Nigeria anyhow that we can, whether writing about it, talking about it, going to vote, whatever it is. Kudos to you guys. Big ups to you guys.
All right. For this episode has been an Herculean task to record, but finally we're at the end.
Listen,
Thank you very
different
much.
parts. Miss Kobo.
This
There's a
has
Miss Kobo situation
See,
in
there's so
this
much
recording.
join in this thing, but
Listen,
at the end of the day, we pull through for you guys because we are recording
ju-
at 1:29 a.m.
listen, cap
So please,
thing.
the thing I have to see once you guys just hear this episode, just enter my DM and say, please send me your account number. That's all.
Listen, just
Don't tell
for
me,
the pain and for the sleepless nights, because
don't
we
tell me
have to do
wonderful.
it for the culture.
Don't tell me wonderful episode or anything.
Do you understand?
I beg you.
Or don't message us saying, "Oh, you guys keep me company." But look
Yeah,
at we're doing it early in the morning.
early though. I should be sleeping.
I was sleeping.
My
No, you were
beauty.
sleeping.
I should have my beauty sleep. I should be
Oh,
having my
please,
beauty
God, based
sleep.
on skincare and
Thank
beauty,
you.
you have to have your
Yeah.
beauty sleep.
So please follow us on all social media
Sunscreen is
platforms. You know
expensive.
the drill. Follow us on all social media platforms. Yada yada yada. Send your
Yes.
family to family@234essential.com.
And well, you just said this, so I'm going to say it again.
Okay,
Follow us on
sorry.
all social media platforms and to for Essential Podcast. It's okay. It's early in the morning. We need rest. Oxygen to the brain is necessary.
Definitely.
All right, guys.
Yes. And
Till then,
it
be
will be one on
kind.
one.
Yes, and I remind me to give you a blow just because it was your birthday and we didn't see you. Doesn't mean you've forgotten.
That's passed.
No, it hasn't passed.
That's
it. Phil, I don't see. Phil comes in when I really need him to. Phil, I love you.
Unload this thing.
I love you.
I'm not sending you any file again.
See, it's a lie. Let me tell you something.
End the recording now.
Drink for us.
End the recording now. If this thing, if a lot of dies, you're on your own. Bye bye.
Now when we see you next week, we'll give you a bara. You must take us out. If I will pour water on you,
we'll do secondary school.
Yes, that's what we'll do. Okay, so everybody knows your birthday.
Phil, please press repeat. Thank you. Off
Bye.
the mic. Bye.